Hey, you gotta hear this wild story from my old high school days outside Boston. It's about my buddy Matt, small-time weed dealer, total legend in our sheltered suburban crew. Senior year, he's tight with this guy Tim, some grad student shadowing our gym teacher. We're all just coasting, partying, living the teenage dream, until one Friday, chaos hits. Matt's running from cops, gets tackled right in front of us, and guess who's cuffing him? Tim. Turns out, he's no student. The real twist? It's crazier than you'd think, and it'll leave you questioning everything. So, buckle up, here's how it all went down.
Man, you won't believe the day my whole world flipped upside down. Picture this. It's a Friday afternoon, final bell rings, and we're all spilling out of class, ready to ditch school for the weekend. I'm in a crowd by the library doors when out of nowhere, my buddy Matt comes barreling around the corner, sprinting like his life depends on it. A split second later, freaking cops, actual police officers, charge after him, yelling and shoving through kids. I'm frozen, like, what the hell is happening? Matt plows through us, kids screaming, ducking against the walls, and then, bam, he hits the common area and gets tackled hard, right at our feet. Dust flies, he's cuffed, and as they yank him up, my brain explodes. One of the cops? It's Tim. Yeah, Tim. The dude we thought was some chill grad student shadowing our gym teacher. Turns out he's an undercover cop who'd been playing Matt like a fiddle for months, setting him up to sell weed. My jaw dropped. Our whole school watched this go down, and I'm standing there thinking, this can't be real. So, I grew up in this suburban farm town just outside Boston. Think quiet streets, big yards, the kind of place where nothing wild's supposed to happen. It was privileged, sure, mostly white, tight-knit. Everybody knew everybody. I graduated from this tiny public high school in 2005, class of 150, and back then, it felt like we were all in this bubble. Sheltered, high-achieving, the works. We all got along, grades mixed together at parties, juniors with seniors, no drama. We drank a ton, smoked a ton, but that was it, you know? Nothing hardcore. It was just fun, dumb teenage stuff, and I loved it. Looking back, I can still smell the bonfires, hear the laughter echoing through the woods behind someone's house. Life was simple. Then there was Matt. He was this kid in our crew, the youngest in his family by, 8 years. His older siblings totally corrupted him early, gave him that wild streak we all secretly envied. By 7th grade, he's the one showing up with weed, passing around like it's no big deal. I remember the first time I tried it, coughing my lungs out while Matt just grinned, saying, "You'll get used to it." He was our gateway, I guess, softly pulling us into his world. Back then, it didn't feel dangerous. It was just Matt being Matt. He had this charm, this way of making you feel like you were in on something special. I'd sit there, buzzed, thinking how lucky I was to have a friend like him, someone who didn't care about the rules but still had your back. We were kids, invincible, living in this perfect little town where the worst thing that could happen was getting grounded. High school rolled on, and that bubble stayed intact. Teachers liked us. We aced our classes. And even when we partied, it was low-key enough to fly under the radar. Matt, though, he started drifting. By junior year, he's not just smoking anymore. He's dealing, small time, just weed. I'd see him at lunch, counting cash under the table, smirking like he's some kingpin. I didn't judge him. Hell, I thought it was kind of cool. He was still the same Matt, just with a little more edge. I'd tease him about it sometimes, like, "Dude, you're gonna get busted one day," and he'd laugh it off, saying, "Not me, man. I'm too slick." I believed him. We all did. That's how it was back then, naive, carefree, thinking we'd always come out on top. Little did I know how wrong I'd be. By second semester junior year, Matt's fully in his element. He's this low-key weed dealer now, running a crew of 5 to 7 underclassmen. Total stoners, every one of them. You know the type. Perpetually high, drowning in Axe body spray, baggy hoodies. Always smiling. Super nice guys, honestly, but the administration? They hated them. Looking back, I get it. These dudes put zero effort into school. Half the time, they're nodding off in class, reeking so bad the hallways smelled like a dispensary. Me, I was still doing my thing. Good grades, sports, whatever, but I'd hang with them sometimes just to chill. Matt was the ringleader, no question. He'd roll up to school already baked, eyes red, grinning like he owned the place. I'd ask, "How you not tired of this yet?" And he'd shrug, "Keeps me sane, bro." They smoked everywhere, bathrooms, parking lot, you name it. Crazy thing? They never got caught. Faculty'd sniff around, but Matt's crew was slippery, always one step ahead. It drove the administration nuts. Teachers started taking shifts, patrolling the bathrooms on their breaks like it's some sting operation. I'd see Mr. Jenkins, our history teacher, storming out of John, muttering about damn kids, and I'd just laugh. Matt thought it was hilarious, too. "They'll never catch me," he'd say, lighting up right after. I admired that confidence, even if it scared me a little. I'd think, man, he's pushing it. But I never said out loud. He was my friend. I wasn't going to rain on his parade. Summer hit, and we all scattered. Beach trips, late nights, the usual. I didn't see Matt much. Figured he was doing his thing. Senior year rolls around, and he's still the same, dealing, smoking, leading his stoner pack. I'm busy with college apps, trying to keep my head down, but I'd catch him in the halls, and we'd nod like nothing's changed. Those guys, though, the school stench got worse. It was like a cloud followed them. The principal's on this warpath, obsessed with nailing them, but they're untouchable. I'd hear rumors, cameras in the bathrooms, random locker checks, but Matt just kept sliding by. I started wondering how long he could pull it off. Part of me worried, you know? Like, dude, you're playing with fire. But he'd flash that grin, and I'd let it go. He was Matt. Nothing could touch him. Looking back, I should have seen the cracks. The administration was too quiet, too determined. I'd catch them staring at Matt in the cafeteria, whispering in the office. It felt off, but I brushed it aside. We were seniors, almost out, almost free. I didn't want to think about trouble. I just wanted to coast through, hang with my boys, and enjoy the ride. Matt's crew made school fun chaotic in the best way. I'd sit there, watching them stumble through the day, and feel this weird mix of pride and dread. They were my people, but something was brewing. I just didn't know how bad it'd get. Senior year's humming along when Matt starts hanging with this new guy, Tim. He's older, maybe 23, 24, fresh out of college, shadowing our gym teacher for some grad school gig. Not a teacher, but he'd step up in gym class, setting up volleyball nets or whatever. Most of us didn't care. He's just this dude in khakis, kind of awkward, not worth a second thought. But Matt, he latches onto him. I'd see them chatting after class. Tim leaning in like they're buddies. I didn't get it. Tim's not one of us, you know? He didn't hit our parties, but I'd spot him with Matt outside school sometimes, grabbing food or just kicking it. I'd ask Matt, "What's up with that guy?" And he'd say, "He's cool, man. Chill." I didn't push it. Matt's always had his weird connections. Months go by, and I'm in my senior groove. Exams, prom plans, counting down to graduation. Then that Friday hits. Bell rings. We're all pouring out, and suddenly Matt's sprinting to the library hall like a bat out of hell. I'm thinking, what the... before cops burst around the corner, chasing him. My heart's pounding. Kids are yelling, shoving against the walls as Matt tears through. He hits the common area, and boom, a cop tackles him right in front of us. I'm standing there, dumbstruck, as they cuff him. Then I see it. One of the cops is Tim. My stomach drops. Tim's no grad student. He's a damn undercover cop. He'd been cozying up to Matt for months, getting him to trust him. Then bam, bought a big stash of weed off him. Matt's busted, and I'm reeling. It felt dirty like entrapment. How's that even fair? The whole school's buzzing. Total chaos. We're all staring as they drag Matt out, his head down. Cops barking orders. I'm pissed, confused, betrayed. Tim played us all, but Matt most of all. I keep thinking, how'd I miss this? Even our gym teacher's fuming. He had no clue, stuck filing fake reports for Tim's fake program. He's yelling at the principal later, red-faced, while we're just trying to process it. Did the administration want this big public takedown? Or did Matt's run force their hand? I'll never know. All I can see is Matt hitting the ground, that look on his face, shock, fear, everything crashing down. I felt helpless, like I should have warned him or something. Days after, it sinks in. People start joking about Tim, how he sucked at every sporting gym. Should have known he wasn't legit, they'd say, and I'd force a laugh. But it stung. Matt was dumb to sell that much. Sure, but Tim wormed his way in, exploited him. I hated that. School felt different after. Quieter, heavier. Matt got his act together eventually, which I'm glad for, but that day, it's burned into me. I lost something, trust, maybe, or that invincible feeling we all had. Standing there, watching my friend go down, I grew up real fast.
Thanks for listening to my story. It's been a heavy one to share. I'm still figuring out what comes next, but having you here means a lot. If you connected with this, please hit that subscribe button for Life Reflections. I'd love to have you along for more real moments like this. Take care, everyone.